Hello and welcome. Today I'll be doing a basic guide to bombs and missiles in warfare. Here you can see that these bombs have different weights and different amounts in front of them. This one is 550, this one's 1,100. Basically, when you're making a loadout, you don't want to max out the aircraft's max weight, so keep that into consideration. But if it's in the aircraft like this and you can select it, it can hold it. But if there's like multiple points, like I know the A-10 can be overloaded, and then it just won't let you deploy, at least it used to, or it won't let you take off. For missiles, you see here it says mass 1,650, but that's not actually the mass. The warhead mass is 900. The dispersion is 75 meters. That means once targeting something, it can hit within 75 meters of that object. And it is anti-ground, meaning you can lock onto ground targets and use it like that. For dispersion, like I said, it's like that. It doesn't really matter so much for ground units, but like on naval units, it's kind of interesting because it's like if you miss. Cruise missile capacity means you can use tab and then you can use the input coordinates menu, which I'll show you that. The tracking cone is more for aircraft, air-to-air missiles. The range just tells you the max range you can go to. So for this one, it can go up to 50 kilometers or 50,000 meters. Sorry. The top speed is 500 knots. The acceleration is 200 knots a second squared. And the burn time is 15 seconds. So I will be loading up the bombs first. So I'm going to go all the way over to Krov like I normally do. And remember, this is just a basic thing. I'm not going to show like all missiles, but I will show the good majority of them, the most common missiles, just because some game pass missiles. So just remember where it says targeting ability, there's multiple different things here. You can see my friend is a ground unit, meaning anything that says it can target ground can get it. Anti-missile missiles mean that when there is a missile flying towards you, you'll see this small little red dot, and you can click on that and then fire the missile and it will follow you. So to turn on bomb sight, it's 6, and then once you get into the air, you have to remember click 0 to go into combat mode. You can start dropping the bombs. Sometimes there's bomb bays and stuff which you can activate with different keybinds and computer. It really depends on your craft. So here we go. Bomb bays are just aesthetic though, you can just drop. Hit G to pull up the landing gear. And once you're in the air, make sure that you're high enough that the bombs won't kill you. I should be fine. And here you'll see the bombs dropping since I'm in combat mode. Follow them, you can hit 4, which is useful for mouse-guided missiles on airplanes. Okay, there you go. And then you can see me dropping a ton of them right there. And they hit where you see that marker is. So I'm going to drop a bomb now, and you should see it hits in the water. It's a fairly decent marker. As you see, I've taken a little bit of damage from all the bombs. And there, it landed in the water. So, there's bombs. For missiles, it's a bit different. So, this missile here can only hit ground targets, but also has cruise missile capacity, so it can be used to an extent against ships. And I'll show you how that works. So normally you can click on him to target like that, to set his target, so then it turn red. Or you can hit up control to target, but since he's a ground unit, it will actually track. It won't actually track if you like pick something else, like a Navy unit, even though it says it can only track ground. And for the input coordinates menu, you can go into here and then do it like that, and then you'll see he becomes untargeted. So once I do that, I put it in, so now I can get up into the air. Also, if you're wondering what this is the Tu-95. It's a pretty cool aircraft. Don't do that. Don't stall out, it's not made to be a fighter. But then you can just hit whatever. I'm confused on what's happening, because I haven't clicked my mouse at all. Oh, it's skipping. Okay, there we go. But you can hit the button to fire it, and you should see that it turns around. This is only for like air-to-ground missiles. Like I said, it won't do this for aircraft. And go to where you set the coordinates are. And that was big enough to kill the target I had set. My friend Ryan, very cool. But you can also, like I said, you can also like target them with the box, like as you see, I'm like selecting this target, and then once they enable combat mode, which you can tell when they have an X next to their name, it will follow them. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using the saber. So you can see here that it uses AIM 9B sidewinders, which have a tracking cone of 7 degrees, like 70. So if you can see them, like if you can imagine the missile and then like a 70-degree angle, kind of there, that's its tracking cone. Well, like it's tracking, yeah. So here you can see it's anti-aircraft, so it won't work. Its top speed is 1,667 knots with an acceleration of 833 with a burn time of 2 seconds. Its warhead mass is 20 and its mass is 99, which is fairly decent. It should get the job done. I can load up 2 here. Basically, since you already have your spawn point set, remember to turn on 0, you can see the aircraft there. Once you get into the air, you can start shooting. But you have to make sure that's within the 70-degree cone, which extends outward, or else the missile won't track properly. Now that I'm in the air, I'll show you. I have them targeted, but since they're not in the 70-degree cone, the missiles won't track. And remember, if you really want to, like if there's a missile heading after you, you can hit Q for flares, which are effective against missiles. You see they're over there, but since it has a burn time of 2 seconds, I would recommend getting fairly close. Now you see that they're heading straight towards you, they should be in the cone, and yeah, there we go. I would recommend doing it on head-ons or after chasing people instead of like sharp turns like this, which I really wouldn't recommend anyways. To fire them during there, so even if they do deploy flares, there is a small chance it will hit the aircraft and explode on impact. Now, there are different types of missiles, like VL ASROCs, that use cruise missile targeting. They can, but they also have a special feature where they turn into mini torpedoes. But since you already know how the cruise missile targeting works, I don't think I really have to demonstrate how that works. You just find the sub using sonar, which is a completely different topic, and then just fire that and it becomes mini torpedoes. Here I will show you mouse guided missiles for the Bradley. Okay, now that we have combat enabled, you can hit Y to fire the toes, and then you can click C to follow, and as you see, they will follow your mouse. You don't have to click. Neo made it so that it's now a lot smokier when you fire your missiles, so that can cause lag. But you can actually fire multiple of these at once, but you can just self-destruct them if you don't want to like have them. So if you want to say, you could either like change between them using buttons, as you see I'm lagging. There you go, I self-destructed it. That was a very good example. I self-destructed it. There we go. As you can see, that was one of my friends being annoying there. I hope you had a good time watching this video. Sorry it's a bit weird. This is like my second rerun because I kept misspeaking, but hope this was somewhat useful to some of you. It was a bit rushed and it's not very informative, but at least it hopefully helps some of you.